Hi everyone, come down the allotment to do a bit of weeding and see how things are going. I've not been down for probably almost 2 weeks because the weather's been just rain and high winds and all that lot. So have a quick look around, see how things are. Right, so we'll go over the fruit side first. So I usually always do this end last, so we'll get it out of the way now. Because it's kind of blueberries. I've left this door open now so the blackbirds can go in and they can take their freebies because I've picked all I need to pick this year off these. I've had just under 21 pound of blueberries off these 6 little bushes, and it's been absolutely ridiculous. Considering I moved them in March, I thought they'd be a bit upset this year and maybe sulk a bit, but I mean, they've just really pumped some fruit out this year. And I'm glad I got the cage up because I probably would have lost most of it. So these are going to get probably pruned back, you know, in the winter. Raspberries, I didn't really expect much off these this year, but as you can see, there's quite a few to pick at. I've not put supports on, I'll build the supports this winter. The polka ones, there's still a big gap in the middle here. I mean, it'll fill up itself over time, but I might see in the winter, see if I can coax some roots along, or maybe just buy a couple more plants and fill it. I don't know, either or I might move these home and bring me blackcurrant bushes up here and put them in this row. Strawberries, they've finished now. I'm probably going to take a few runners off these because they do have a slight sentimental value, this variety, even though I have no idea what they're called. And I'm going to try and find another variety because they just haven't done that well this year, you know, compared to other years that I've had these. Considering that they're not brand new plants, but it's the first year where they should be pumping out a lot of crop, and they were very misshapen, and just, I don't know, something just wasn't right with them, so I'm not happy with them. So I'm going to probably put another strawberry bed elsewhere in the fruit cage when it's built, or maybe in a raised bed with a net over it that's just dedicated to strawberries, and have a hunt around for another good variety, because you can't always pick good ones all the time. You have to try different varieties and find what works for you on your soil. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Potatoes, I've dug 2 rows completely up, which was a row of Maris Pears and a row of King Edwards. Better than I thought, to be honest. I actually thought, because they were riddled with blight, I'd lose quite a few. I did lose a few, you know, there's a lot of potatoes that were rotten off, but I got probably just over 2.5 sacks off the 2 rows. So overall, I'm happy with that off them. I've still got another 3 rows to dig up, which I've got another row of King Edwards, a row of Orla, and I think I can't remember the name of this last one. It's like a big pink, pink skinned one. Just mainly a bacon. I think they're called something like Condor or something like that. I think, yeah. If I can think on, I'll put it in the comments below or in the description. Asparagus bed, I need to really sort some supports out for this next year to keep them all upright, because all they do is topple over. I don't really eat much of asparagus myself, and those who've followed my videos, you know, since day dot will know why I built this bed and why I grew asparagus. I don't really have a need for it, to be honest, but I'm gonna persevere in it because, you know, I've waited. This will be going into its 4th year next year for this bed, so I should be able to start really harvesting pretty well on it. So I'm going to give it next year and see if I can take a liking to it, and then we'll go from there. I've not bothered planting any Brussels sprouts because the seedlings that I had just went duff. The high winds blew some netting down that protects them, and they got eggs laid all over them, so I thought, forget it, you know, I'll cut my losses and I'll just buy some sprouts if I need some sprouts. So what I did, I had some lettuce that I'd sown, and all I've done is I've thinned the rows out, and the thinnings I've just spaced out and planted elsewhere. So I've got 2 beds pretty much full of lettuce, different varieties. I've got some like Liburg, some like an endive one which is called Romanesca, some like frilly romaine which is, I think it's called Letany, corn salad, or lamb's lettuce. These are just some old iceberg that need to come out. I've got some, I think it's Radicchio it's called, down here, and just a few more Liburg there. Cabbages and all that lot, they're all out apart from the Savoys. which I'll go around the other side so you can see they're all standing pretty well, and you know they've got a good heart on them, so there's no need to harvest them just yet. They can wait a while. Oh, by the way, that last row there is turnips, which I've thinned out. It's always just nice to have something growing in the winter, you know, while I'm coming up here doing bits and that, to have something to pick at. So anyway, when I dug this spud up, put a big 20-foot net up, and I thought, while I'm working on my beds, I might as well have something in the ground here. So I've got some, I bought these actually from B&Q, these plants, because they were on clearance, so I thought, oh, I'll get them in. Some broccoli, some kale, some cauliflower, some of my own broccoli. I've sown some seeds down this bottom end, just for winter greens for my tortoise to eat. Courgettes, they just never ever seem to give up. You know, they've got mildew on them and whatnot, but they're still pumping them out faster than I can use them. So overall, you can't really knock them really. They just chuck out so much pound per square metre, you know what I mean, of food. It's silly. So anyway, cobra beans, French clown beans, need to start harvesting these because they're actually hanging all over the place, so I need to get some of them out. Peas have finished, the Hearst green shafts. Plants are out, ripped them all out. The roots, I've left the roots in, as you can see. Down here, I just cut them off and leave the roots in because they've got all the nitrogen nodules on the roots. They were covered in powdery mildew. So there's nothing else going in this bed. It's going to be, once it's finished, it's going to be shut down. Sweet corn. Probably about a week off being ready this now, I think. You know, I've had a little sneaky peek at one. You know, the kernels are a little bit patchy, you know, but that's down to just like luck, I suppose, pollination, because I mean a lot of the time on the outsides they are. I've noticed the better ones tend to be in the middle. You know, water has a big role in it. I've tried to water as and when I can get down here, but there's 30 plants there. They're not toppled. You know, they've stood all right actually. Variety is Swift. So when I harvest them, I'll let you have a look, see what they're like. We have to now. All right, this little bed here. Some beetroots. Been harvesting these. They're starting to get a bit big, them ones down there. So I might not get them today. I'll get them next time. Spring onions, got a bit of rust on. They're actually quite chunky now, the spring onions. But I'll use these up over the next couple of weeks, and then obviously this bed will be getting shut down as well. So all in all, it's pretty tidy. I've actually managed to get some grass growing on my paths, which I've been wanting to do for years. I've just never got around to it. So I bought myself a little battery stripper. So I'm trying to encourage it, you know, trying to keep it short, and hopefully the grass will overtake some of the weeds, and then all should be good. So I don't really want. I want to try and do these beds through the winter, so I'm not traipsing about when it's sloppy. I don't want to be down here when it's pouring down, you know. So I'll just see how the weather goes this winter. I've got a load of, let's turn this camera around. I've got a load of bark chippings. Not bark, just a whole lot of chippings from wood from a tree that was in the back garden. We cut a big silver birch down, me and a friend of mine, a couple of weeks ago. He had all the big chunky stuff for firewood, and I've got a little machine that blitzes anything up to about an inch. So I blitzed it all up, so I've got probably about 15 barrel loads full of chippings to get from my back garden all the way here and put on my beds. Whether I use them as a mulch or just sort of like a layering and then put some, you know, compost on top of it, I don't know yet. I'll probably just pour it on my beds and then plant through it next year. If I'm going to sow anything, I'll put a little bit of compost over the top of it, because I'm going to probably put it quite thick, you know. But I'm hoping to, you know, get some more leaves, grass clippings, and all that lot. You know, get my beds re-topped up this winter. I'll show you these Kappa sliced onions that I pulled out. I've no room for the onions at mine now because I pulled all the Hercules ones out from here, and they're all drying out at the moment. So we'll have a look at these Kappa ones. Oh, well, you can see these. It's just a makeshift out of a compost bag I ripped open, and they're all right. You know, I'll get them home in a week or two. You know, I've got the odd bruise on, but I'll peel the skin back on them anyway, because they always get another outer skin. So quite a few to go out under there. They tend to store quite a bit longer than the normal ones. So there will be an update from the back garden next week, because I've got my big Kelsey onions. I might be pulling some of them. Big carrots. They were doing alright, but we had a big downpour of rain, and I spotted the top of one of them had split, so you can't always have it your own way, I suppose. And so we're pulling some of them, and I've got some spuds in pots, some pendant crowns. I think they're near enough ready, because there's bulges all around the outside of the tub. But the other thing is they've got a little bit of blight on them, and I need to keep my eye on them, because I've got some spuds that I planted out for Christmas. Just some first earlies in pots. Oops. And then you know, so I'll show you them as well. They're just some Charlottes and some Duke Yorks I put in small pots, just something to tide over, just to keep me busy basically. So that's it from me and the allotment for this week. When the next update from here will be, I don't know yet. Probably not, you know, a couple of weeks, something like that. So, but the one from the back garden will probably be within the next 2 weeks anyway. So thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.